Hey everyone! So today, we're going to talk about pickleball, but maybe not in the way you're thinking. We're going to explore how the biggest improvements in your game might not come from a better dink or a faster serve, but from what's going on right inside your own head.
And it all starts with this quote right here. It's from, one of the greatest athletes to ever live, Roger Federer. But what's interesting is, it's not about winning or being the best. It's this super simple phrase he says to himself after a mistake, and it holds a really powerful secret to performing at your best that works just as well for us on the pickleball court as it does for him in a Grand Slam final.
So what is that big secret? Well, it's not his ridiculous forehand or his amazing footwork. Nope. It's all about his internal dialogue, that little conversation he has with himself in those crucial seconds right after he makes an unforced error.
And this really gets to the core of the issue for so many of us. Coaches see it constantly. A ton of our mistakes, they're not actually physical screw-ups. They're the direct result of self-doubt. That little voice in your head that whispers, "Don't mess this up," creates tension, and that leads to a rush shot or a popped-up dink. You absolutely have the skill to make the shot, but you don't fully believe you can do it.
And that leads us right into what I call the self-doubt trap. This is the moment where the mindset of an amateur player and the mindset of a champion just go in completely opposite directions. Let's take a look at what that difference actually looks like when you're in the middle of a game.
So right here, you can really see the two different paths. A champion's reset, it's all built on a foundation of loving the game. It's a calm moment, a moment of forgiveness that actually rebuilds their confidence. But then you look at the other side, and it's what we see all the time, right? Anger, beating yourself up, getting all tense. And all that does is reinforce the very same doubt that caused the mistake in the first place. It just becomes this vicious cycle.
Oh man, we have all seen this. And let's be real, a lot of us have probably done it. These physical reactions, yelling, slapping your thigh, smashing the ball into the fence, they don't actually relieve any pressure. They do the exact opposite. They send this blaring signal to your brain that says, hey, mistakes are a huge, terrible deal.
So what's really going on here deep down? Well, those angry outbursts actually create fear. Every single time you react that way, you're basically training yourself to be afraid of making another mistake. This fear of missing, fear of what other people will think, fear of letting your partner down, it just leads to more tension and, you guessed it, more mistakes.
And let's be totally honest. Sometimes that pressure is coming from the outside, isn't it? The heavy sigh from your partner, the eye roll from your opponent. But here's the truth. Their reactions are about their own stuff, their own frustration. It's not about you. Your only job in that moment is to protect your own mindset, to protect your own love for being out on that court.
Now, this whole idea isn't just some fluffy, feel-good advice. It is a legitimate performance strategy, and it's backed up by real sports science. This concept of intentionally using joy to play better, it's something the best athletes in the world have figured out.
Okay, so the research shows that athletes who find a way to cultivate joy get 3 massive advantages. First, they actually lower their stress response, which saves a ton of mental and physical energy during a long game. Second, when you're actually enjoying yourself, the physical effort literally feels easier. And third, it builds resilience, which means they bounce back way faster from mistakes when the pressure is really on.
The official scientific term for this is emotion regulation. And it's a skill. It's the ability to actively manage your feelings, to stay positive, to stay focused, and to stay confident. Athletes who get good at this aren't just getting lucky with their mood. They are actively choosing a mindset that helps them win.
All right, so we've looked at the problem, we've seen the science behind the solution, so how do we make this real? How do we turn all this talk into a tool we can actually use on the court like today? It all comes down to one simple phrase.
This is it. Seriously, this is your new mantra. It's not fancy, but man, is it powerful. It's the perfect counterpunch to all that frustration and self-criticism that tries to sneak in. I love pickleball. It just plugs you right back into the reason you're even out there playing.
So, how do you put this into practice? It's a super simple 3-step reset for after any point, good or bad. First, smile. And I mean it. Even if you have to fake it, it actually changes your brain chemistry. Second, take one deep breath to let go of any physical tension. And third, just repeat that mantra to yourself. I love pickleball.
Now, the absolute key to making this work is repetition. Don't just save this for when you shank a ball. Say it after you hit an amazing shot to lock in that confidence. Say it after a bad shot to forgive yourself and just reset. The whole goal is to make this positive self-talk so automatic that it becomes your new habit, completely replacing that old, nasty cycle of doubt.
So I'll leave you with this question. What happens when you stop fighting yourself out on the court and start focusing on your love for the game? What happens when belief becomes your habit instead of just something that shows up by accident? What do you think becomes possible then?